Well, and hi everyone. My name is Monica Ramirez, and today I have a beautiful assistant that is Patricia Perez. She's gonna be helping me. You accept the people if they're coming in, Patty. I will appreciate that. And well, in this class, what we're gonna be talking about and what we're gonna be working in multidimensionality in different levels. First, we're gonna need to find who we are. If we find who we are, that's how we can find where we want to go, what we want, and we can bring what we really want. But if we don't know who we are, that's when we start having the problem of who we are. So before we start, I would like to we take a big breath. So like that we can center ourselves and come back into this moment. Let's close our eyes and let's take a big breath and let it out through your mouth. Again, let's take another big breath. Take it to your heart and let it out. Now we're going to imagine we're taking to our brain. And we let it out. So we can be present in the here and now. And well, what we're going to start, well, I was talking about to finding who we truly are. Because when we find who we truly are, we also can find our own power. And that's why it's very important to find that. Then we're also in this class, we're going to be starting embodying our higher self. So like that, we all human beings were born with this beautiful guidance that we forgot that we have because the system actually removed that from us. And we need to start embodying that higher guidance that is our higher self. I've been doing that for a while. So now the other day, even my daughter asked me, like, you act like you know it all. Like I tell her, I don't know it all, but I can ask, and I receive that answer that I'm asking. So that's why it's important to have this higher guidance from our higher self, so we can have this higher guidance of this higher self, and that's why it's so important to reconnect to our higher self. Now, who is Omar is coming in. Now, who is our higher self? Our higher self, it is ourselves, but in the future. So if you actually embody yourself as in the future, but the one is connected is your divine self. If you actually bring it down and embody it, you always have that guidance. That is very important. Then we're also going to talk about why it's so important to be in the present moment and what happens when we're not in the present moment. And that is one of the things that are very, very important, that to be in the present. We're going to be talking in this class too about responsibility, to stop playing the games of the poor me. Because when we start playing, I know a lot of, like Robbie, Shannon, and some of you might know what I'm talking about. But when we actually start being responsible of our own choices, our own selves, our own thoughts, emotions, feeling, everything around us, in that moment, we actually can make the change. And we can see that actually this is kind of moldable, like a clay life, in fact, that we can actually create our new life, the life that actually we want to create, and we want to transform. That this is the intention of this course, to transform ourselves to become a better higher beings and go to the next step of the evolution of the human being. That's where we're going to be. That's why it's very important, the responsibility, and not playing the poor me card. And we're going to be talking about that too. And then we're going to be talking about the different states of conscience. That there's about seven points from zero. That's the lowest one is the depression, to actually ascend to become actually an illuminated person. But we are in different process in our way. In this class, it's impossible to make all the exercises and so forth, so we can actually get into at least the highest one, that is the love one, unconditional love, the joy, and be in that, because it's only 3 days and in 2 hours. So it's very difficult to go into all the exercises and all the meditations and activations and doing the personal work in 3 days in 2 hours. But we're gonna be talking about them. So like that, at least you can see where you are at and what you have to work on. I want to the people get something that they can take home so they can work with themselves. I am a firm believer that homeworks help tremendously. And as much as you want to put in as your homework, I'm not going to be checking you out. I'm not going to grade you neither. But as you do also some of the homework, they're going to be helping you for in these homeworks. They're going to be helping you actually for like that. You can actually introduce yourself. You can find yourself. It's kind of distracting this part. Like, guys, I'm new in teaching online classes, so bear with me, please, guys. If I get distracted with the computer, with the technology, I'm new in this in teaching in online. But well, so in this system, and of course, I can teach you all the stages of conscience in this one and how we are going to be working in each one of us, in each one of the conscious, so we can actually get to where we really want it. It will be ridiculous to come to this plane and to planet Earth and just be miserable, born, grow, go to school, get married, have kids or not, and died, get old and died. That would be ridiculous and a waste of time. That would be so pointless if you actually really stop and think about it. So if you guys actually if we can find the point that we can have all in common, all human beings, we just want to be happy, feel whole, and that's the point of the states of conscience when we're starting to work it. I am not gonna lie to you guys. In this mini course that is 3 hours, is only 3 days, 2 hours. It's impossible I can give you all that. It's a lot of information that we can. I'm trying to compact the more I can, because I'm gonna be doing activations. I'm gonna be doing meditations where we're gonna be healing the inner child and also embody the higher self and so forth. That is gonna I'm gonna be completely giving in this one. But if we actually start, if it's impossible, I can give you all. I'm gonna have different options later on that I'm gonna explain it later on. So like that, if you decide to get into my classes, great. If not, at least you have something, you take something home. And that's my what I wanna do in this mini course. Okay, so I'm gonna put a PowerPoint that I have created so I can explain it better what I'm trying to. Oops. Okay, basically I already explained what is the spiral in, what we're going to be teaching, and who is Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love. Well, Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love, it actually started, I had a school of metaphysics in Veracruz. Let me go back to non-sharing. uh, Sorry. technology. I had us in Veracruz about 35 years ago a school of metaphysics. When I came over here to United States, I tried to fit in. It was a new language, a new culture, a new everything. And obviously, I did not want to bring my more vulnerable part, that it was a healer or a student of metaphysics or a teacher of meditation and so forth, to this area, because I just wanted to be accepted in that time. So I tried to hide myself, who I truly was, and try to fit in as much as I could. So I kind of not I couldn't forget who I was, but I knew the games I was playing, because once one person wake up, they can never go back to sleep. You know when you're playing games. You know when other people are even playing games. And I knew I was playing a game, the game of actually hiding. And I did that for a long time. And it was easy for me to project through my art, because like that I can show who I was without saying who I was. And I came also with my poetry. I write poetry in Spanish, and I do it in the same way. I was hiding in a way who I was, and trying to at the same time to express that multidimensionality in hiding ways. I since then I work with the subconscious of the people, and I do it through my art at the beginning, and now I'm a BQH, that is beyond quantum healing, that is hypnosis, regression, and so forth. Now I do it, and also I am a theta healer, wave healer, because I'm terrible following rules. I'm gonna be completely honest in this. If you give me rules, I like to learn them so I can learn how to break them. And that's part of my healing. I am a channeler at the same time. I do channel beings from the highest planes, not only my higher self. And then my guides are always with me, and I'm always in communication with them all the time. But I was not always like this, neither. I was very sick. I have about 15 years ago, they diagnosed me with lupus, RA, fibromyalgia. I went into a horrible depression, the deepest depression you can imagine. My 15 years ago, my ex-husband in that time used to beat me and so forth. So I come from there, so I know what is this pain. What I know what is actually being in truly pain and very depressed, and trying to get out of a relation or a situation that I got myself in. And to heal that one, it was a very hard one, because not only I heal my health, I don't take any medicines at all in this moment. I don't take. Well, I haven't taken for right now for about 7 years, 5 to 7 years. It went slowly until I actually healed myself, and I know exactly what I did and how I did it, how I heal myself. And I don't go too much. I used to play the victim role in that time. That's why I know very well when someone is playing that game, or when I am even playing that game. Because the victim role, it work. People have compassion, and everybody wants to do everything for you. I used to play those games until, well, to heal myself, I have those other things that I have to let go, so I can transform myself and be actually free and feel that freedom and feel that unity and that unconditional love. I have to start all over from myself. And my guides gave me the name Warrior of Love. When finally when they gave me that name, I was scared. Like, come on, really? I'm still working in loving myself. How your guys giving me this name? Is like, well, you have to embody it. You have to become the warrior of love. And to you become the warrior of love, you can change it to whatever you like. So now, since I got more activations, more personal work, and so forth, I am becoming the warrior of love. And now I'm starting to embody. And that took me years to get where I am now. And let me go to. we're going to start with today the first unit. And in this, well, I wanted to talk why it's important to be in the present moment. When we are in our body, when we're not in our body, I'm just going to explain what can happen. We have is when we have many things to do and we're so busy and thinking in our business, in our kids, in our marriage, our divorce, or clients or things like that. We tend to get out of our body. We don't, because it's too much pressure to be in our body. When we are super scared also, and we get out of our body. Let's put it like this: if you have a car accident and you're gonna or you're having a car accident and you feel the pain is coming, you're gonna get out of your body. You're not gonna be there. That's why people can't even remember when they got out of what happened in the accident, because they were not in their body. When we avoid situations that we don't want to affront them because we are in fear, or we are fear to lose our loved one or whatever, we tend to get out of our body. And when we're in pain, in this one I completely relate. A lot of time when I have lupus and I was in a lot of pain, the majority of the time I was not in my body. It was too terrible to be in it. It was in pain and I was swollen. I couldn't get up. It was terrible. So it was easier not to be in my body. When we get depressed, and it's so sad to be in that moment in our body, it is easier for us to get out of our body. And I just wanted to put this little script that maybe it was too much, but well, too much information, but I would like to explain it. As a human beings, we have many programs that they have teach us to how, well, here's the script, but I'm going to be explaining a little bit more about it, because it's not about just you reading it and I just read it back to you. And when we as human beings, we have many programs that are actually managing our lives. We think we are from this country, from the other country, what race we are, where we're coming from. We think, oh, my sign is this one. Like, let's say I'm a Scorpio, I'm putting myself as an example, and Scorpio should act like this and this and this and this and this. And I program myself. And let's say also we have a religion. Well, my religion is telling me to do this and this and this and this. But that's all our programs that tell you who you should be, how you should act, what morals, what values you should have, instead of digging who you truly are. When we start rebraining our brain, that's something that it passionate me. We can change every single program that we have. And it's also, I would like to mention in here that when we're starting to reprogram our brain, we go like layers, like an onion. And and when we start taking the layers out, that is when it's very hard for others to control us and tell us how to be. And that's where I come into that. I don't like too much the rules, but we're going to be talking about this. In the more difficult moments, in pain and depressed, and we feel fear, we feel scared, we overload with job, with home, loved ones, school, etc. In that moment, it is easier to get out of our conscience and just follow what others tell you to do, because it is easy to let someone. It is easy for let someone actually tell you what to do. It is. I have seen it so many times with myself. I only can speak by my own experience. Everybody has their own experience. You might feel related to, or you might not. This information might help you, or you can dispose about it. It doesn't matter for me in a way. But when we are so programmed, we can't even think who we are, what we're capable. We are so, so, so powerful as human beings that we forgot. We forgot why we came here. We don't came here to suffer. I want to make a point in this. We came to here to be free, love, and feel love for ourselves and enjoy our lives. Okay. Uh, oh, okay. We can, when we're multitasking, a lot of people tell me all the time, oh, mom, my kids, in fact, they make fun of me because they tell me I'm multitasking and so forth. But when you say you're multitasking, actually, you're not putting attention to everything. I don't care who you are not putting your full presence in whatever you're doing. And there's a trick is when we are actually focusing in one thing, we're putting the whole presence in ourselves, in something, and you can call that meditation, in fact. Let's say you go walking and you just start seeing the view, the beautiful view outside of yourselves. And in that moment, you are meditating. Or when women, we're putting our makeup, or man, whoever is putting the makeup, and you're just focused and putting the whole focus in what you're doing, or cooking, you're putting the whole focus in what you're doing, you're sending that energy or love or hate or whatever you're thinking. So, but when you are aware and you're in your body, you can realize what you're thinking and feeling in that moment. You're not even putting attention. That's why it's so important to be in your body. When we get into, like I mentioned before, when we get into a car crash and we get so scared, we truly believe forgot where we, and the cops come and tell us, okay, ma'am, you need to tell us what is your experience, what happened. And we just get glimpses of it, just because by glimpses, because you were going in and out of your body. So that's why it's important to be present. Even if we are in a lot of pain and so forth, if you want to really know what happened to you, that's one way. And I will bring out also something very important when you want to start channeling, that it goes with that one too. And I have taken many, I've been an artist for 38 years, and I have taken many classes of art. And something that I started learning when they put the object when they put an object on the, and let's say even an apple in the middle, and they have lights in one side and shadows in the other side and so forth, every single spectator are seeing the object in one place, and the other person is sitting down in the other side, is seeing where the other perspective, where the, my Siri, you don't distract me, Siri, too, the phone. So you can see in a different place where that is, but you're not, observing the person in the other side at the same time. Okay, no one is coming in. No, okay. And you're observing the same apple in a completely different view than the other person that you were here. And if you come out in the other side, you're seeing a completely different perspective of the same apple. Everybody's painting the same apple. The experience is the same. It's the apple, you know, but the lights and the shadows and the form is different. The position is different. That's something that I learned in my classes of drawing. And that was very, very important, because it is true. And I want to clarify in this, that when you are creating something creative, a painting or writing or playing a song, or for musicians and things like that, that I've been around all these artists, beautiful artists, they are bringing the presence, or else they can create. But at the same time, when we learn, that's something that I hope in this class we learn, is to become the observer. So like that we can see, because we're multidimensional beings in a human, living in experience in a human body. So we can become the observer and we can observe all the sides of the same apple, not only where you're sitting down. Of course, if you're going to be drawing the apple, I would recommend you don't move. You have to bring your presence only to observe that side. But if you want to observe the whole situation around and what is happening around, we can do that. We have that capacity as human beings to do that. So it's up to us if we want to do it or not. And we're going to be showing you how to you become the observer of your own self and the observer of the different situations. So like that you actually can, not, I can't say multitask, but because it's different as a human in a human level. When you are becoming multidimensional, you can be even aware what is outside your house. I can know if someone is gonna ring the door. I already know who is gonna be. Who is it? Because I am aware. I learn to be aware of what is everything around me. Or if I want to even connect, and there's even the government was hiring people to actually connect. In the United States were doing it a lot with Russia, and Russia with United States in the time of the Cold War. They were sending people actually to see if they were spying on them or not. We all can have the same capacity. It's just practice, and we can do this. I'm going to be teaching more about this in the classes, in the ones in the long classes, how to you can do all that. And here we're going to do a little practice to become aware in the, I don't want to, in the classes where I'm going to be teaching, those are going to be teaching how to you can do that. You actually can transport somewhere and actually observe and see. It is very illustrating that part. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. I don't want to start from the beginning. I hope tomorrow I'm doing better in this, guys. Well, then we have when we're bringing our questions to the present moment, we're going to be doing this in this class, and I will be teaching you many ways how you can become fully embodied, how you can be present in the here and now, because that is very important. You want to actually become more multidimensional and become aware, because we're always doing it. The only difference is we are not always aware. I'm going to be teaching that, how to become aware. And also I will explain what is important to be in the here and now and be present. If we're thinking in our past, in our past, our ego will show every single mistake that we have done, and it will show you all the possibilities that you didn't did. That's the thing. That's your ego always gonna put you tricks and traps. So because it wants to control you, that's your ego, because it's afraid that actually you even it's a control freak. Let's put it like that. Our ego, and it's just for protection. Like any mother will say to my kid, "Oh, I would not want it to. He plays with dirt and don't fall and don't do anything and don't go out and so forth." That's the ego. It's still a loving ego. I'm not saying that let's get into a fight or remove the ego. The ego is very important for our survival, but we need to become friends with it. It's like having a very controlling mother. You don't want to shun your mother, no, but you understand the love of her, and you still have to become you. If we're thinking in the future, that's where, oh, I'm sorry, and in the past, that's where we come depressed, because we start judging ourselves. And that's something that we have to be aware when we're thinking in the past. And when we're thinking in the future, that's where we can bring all the anxiety. That's when we can become Also, we have paranoia. We all the fears started showing up in ourselves. Remember, the ego's involved, and that's some people are even pessimists because they're thinking in the ego that they're not worth or they can't get what they want, and that's when they get all these kind of anxieties. Again, they are not in the present body. You ask what is the difference between the present in the here and now and in the state of our is our in our when we're in our regular state is the level alpha, is the alpha brain. When we're talking without putting so much conscience is the alpha. In this moment, like everybody, the majority of the people right now in this class, in this second, we're in a better state. We're putting attention, we're being present, we're here. If we're putting attention to everything else in the business and so forth, and at the same time taking the class and answering the phone and so forth, we're not being present. We're in the alpha, in the alpha brain wave. When we surrender into the moment, into the be the here and now in this second, we're changing our brain wave in that moment. From we can go from beta to theta. We are gonna learn how to control completely our thoughts. The theta is where we can rewire our brain. Is where our conscience, we can bring with conscious breathing, that we're going to be doing an exercise with that, and our reality, or through meditation too. Or I'm going to show you one trick that I do that is super simple too, like breathing. And because in that moment when we're bringing our presence and we can go into a theta state in a second, it's just practice. In that moment we can rewire our brain again, and that's where we can, it comes all the healing. A lot of the healing that I did to myself, it was in theta state. We can start we start bringing our order and balance in our lives, so we can actually do and start creating the new reality, the new you that you can become. You have all, we have the same capacity. I'm not more special than anyone. We are all very magnificent human beings. We have the capacity. And when we start when we start with our brain waves, we can start in a in a meditative state. We start entering to a theta level. In that state, that's when oh, I believe I did say that part. I'm so sorry. Well, the point of this is not only be in our brain, it is also connect our brain to our heart, so we can create a coherence. In that coherence is our emotions are the magic of who we truly are. Let me, our emotions are the ones that are creating that magic of who we truly are. And it is important to connect those two. I'm not the only one saying this. If you have heard Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's one of the more famous ones. Greg Braden also, they're talking about the same thing, because that's where the creative part is. That's how we can actually heal ourselves. That's what we can change and let go any depression, any sadness, and so forth. We're responsible of ourselves. We're gonna go through there. And do someone has any questions at this moment? So, or I continue? No one has any questions? Okay, let me continue then. Oh, okay, good. Finally, I'm learning this one. In the second, in the second day of this mini course in the Spiral Within, we will go into a theta level, And I love to work from the void, and I'm going to explain why. Where we will be removing who we think we are, and in this, it will be the beginning of our new transformation. And it's a is that that's the start of where it can be a hypnosis state, but without losing your conscience. And that's where I like to work in that state. And I'm going to talk about the other states functions, but we're not going to go into them. That is a delta. That's a brain wave that where we are in that conscious in our mind. We are where that's when we're in a really deep sleep that we don't realize what we're doing or nothing like that. That we all have been there when we go to sleep. And the gamma wave again goes way faster, and in those are where we're super conscious, where conscience is super aware. That's when you astral travel and so forth, and that's in the gamma state. And in the when we're in theta level, just to explain it, is when we just wake up in the morning and we're between sleep and awake. In that moment, that's when we're in the theta level. Or when we are going to go to sleep, we're between sleep and awake. That's the theta level. So in that moment, you can actually realize you can make so many programs. That's why it's so important morning practice. When you just wake up, you have all your. What I do in my personal how I do it. When I wake up, I'm still in that state. I write in. I have a journal next to my bed where I write all my dreams because that's when I remember. If I let it pass, if I get up and go and have a coffee, forget it, they're gone. it's they have to be so vivid so you can remember them. They will be gone. Then after that, after I write and so forth, that's when I start giving thanks for all the things that I have and for all the things actually that I wish I have, but I wish in that moment I give thanks for receiving them even before I receive them. And I start programming my day, how it's gonna go for the rest of the day. If I want things wonderful, that's in the moment you wanna to program it. You still between sleep and awake. You're in that theta level. You don't need to go to a hypnotherapist. You don't need to, or you can put a meditation if you want to. It's totally your choice. But in that moment when you start giving thanks and you're gonna be breathing, and this one I would like to do a little explanation how I bring myself to the present. And there are several ways. The faster one that I have encountered, that I have found through one of my teachers. I have many teachers and many life coaches. And one of my teachers that I adore, that she's in New Zealand, Karen Janelle Davids. She taught me one because I was jumping between timelines, and she taught me how to be present in the here and now. And it's so simple as say, I am here, here I am. And until I feel it, that is actually in my heart, that is actually vibrating, I can feel my presence coming back to my body. It's that simple. You guys should try it with your mics off, so because we're several, and with your mics off, say it. I am here, here I am. I am here, here I am. And you can feel how your presence coming into your body. When I am driving and I am too distracted, and because I have too many things, hey, I'm human like you all. I get out of my body too. So I just call myself, because I'm not going to close my eyes and go to deep meditation. I'm driving. And you can't do that when you're driving. So I call myself this in this way. I am here, here I am. So I bring back my body into the driver so I can put more attentions and I do not get into a crash. If you're wherever you are at home, at work, and whatever, and you're hitting yourself with the door, you're throwing dishes or breaking dishes because you're too distracted, call yourself again. Is really, really, really works bringing yourself. That's one of the easiest ways I have found. The other one that I would like to we all do it is we're gonna close our eyes and we're gonna take a big breath and we're gonna take it to our stomach. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. Again, we're gonna take it to our stomach. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. One more time. We're going to take it to our stomach. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. Now we're going to take it to our heart, our chest. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. Again, we're going to take it to our heart. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. One more time. Let's take it to our heart. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. Now we imagine we take it to our brain. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. Again, let's take it to our brain. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. But follow your breath. Let's take it to our brain again. Last time. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. This not only gets you in your present moment, this also gets you centered. And you're having a moment of anxiety, you're having a moment that you feel lost or you don't know what to do or taking any decisions or choosing something, I would recommend you to do this breathing because it will get you centered so that you will have a more clear mind. So like that, you can make any choices, make any commitments before you speak. Our words are really magical at the same time. We make vows, we make contracts that actually later on we have to, in one way or the other, we have to accomplish that. Or sometimes when we're mad and we are just speaking, we're saying things that say, oh, I should not say that. Oh, I did a mistake. I should not thought that. But when you center yourself with the breathing in that moment, when you center yourself and you're breathing, in that moment, you're bringing yourself back so you can make actually more that connection. And something that I recommend everybody to always to do is ground yourself. What it means and what it is grounding. Grounding yourself is basically connecting yourself in this body, in this planet, and to the center of the earth. There are many ways to do it. The breathing actually is one of them. It can center you. And you can imagine that is growing some roots from your feet down, down, down to the center of the earth. It have many forms. For everybody's different. I see a heart of crystal indestructible, and it's actually pulsing. It's a living heart. That's how I see it. Everybody see it in a different way, and it is fine. Any choice that you do actually is fine. There's no judgment in this. Anchor yourself in there, and that's one way of ungrounding yourself. There's many techniques and many healers and many people teach different ways to ground yourself. This is the way I do it, and there's no judgment in the way you do it. Anyways, is well done. And again, let me go to my PowerPoint. Okay, in this part I really like to talk about it because I see this one all the time. We are so powerful human beings, more than we ever think we are. The part of the system or the programs that have put you that tell us is that we are not powerful, that there's a power outside of you that actually dictates your life. So going with that, and that started a lot in the religions. I don't care which religion it is, but a lot of the religions start this. This is happening because God wants this for you, or your husband, or things like that. And we go always we use with the poor me. In the poor me is I am like this because my parents make me to do this. I marry this person because my parents make me. I don't finish school because my family, my parents, my kids. We always guilt someone for all our choices when we are doing wrong. Or my husband forced me not to take this class, or forced me not to do that class, or forced me to have kids, or forced me to stay with him, or whatever you want to put it. Those are just the victimhood mind that is just gonna take all your power because you consciously and voluntarily you do it. Or I don't give him or her. I'm not leaving him because of him, because my kids. That I have heard that in men and women, in both of them all the time. They are miserable in their relationship, and they continue in there because they always guilt the kids. And like they're not making the choice for the mom or the dad. The parents are the ones making that choice. So, but they're not conscious because the poor me, the victim mentality, it gets attention, and the people feel sorry for them, and they give him more or whatever. But they're just sucking the energy of the other person. That's also part of the mentality of the poor me, or they don't let me. When we become responsible of every single action, of every single thought and emotion, our life start transforming. When we actually are celebrate every single thing that we do, and then we say, I did that and I feel proud of myself, you're empowering yourself. Or I can do that. Something that, like, I want to go skydiving, and I want to do that. Why? Because it's my choice to do that. And I know I can do that. Why? Because it's my choice to do that. Or I'm not going to do that because I don't think this is the best for myself. We tend to blame others for all the bad things and take credit for all the good things. When we're, and in here, I would like to ask you, when you are actually following someone, or the kind of music you want, or you listen, or you have an idol and so forth, and you start copying that idol, you forget about your originality. Each one of us, every single human, our how you call it, our digital prints are different. We're not the same. We don't have the same mission why we're here in this moment. We are all different. So it is, yeah, we can get inspirations from others, but it is very important to be original. Be you. completely you, and be proud who you are. We are going to be working in forgiving ourselves for whatever mistake we have done. It doesn't matter, because we have to understand that everything that we have lived before, it was just teachings, learnings. We come to this planet Earth, I call it a school, and we come with a bunch of things that we're going to be learning. That is like, in my case, like I mentioned at the beginning, early, when I was getting beaten, that was my choice to marry that person and stay with that person. It was totally my choice. But to actually liberate myself and heal myself, my body and my mind and my soul and every single aspect, I was needing to. Oh, hi Dante. We were trying. We were forgot. Well, when I was trying to heal myself, and I was needing to become responsible completely of who I am, and it was not easy to forgive the person actually that was hitting me, that was trying to choke me. Come on, that was not a simple thing, but I have to observe, what do I learn from him, what do I learn from every single mistake I have done. Because if we don't observe what if we have learned from that lesson, hey, guess what, it's coming back the lesson again, over and over, until we actually learn it. So I don't want to get beaten again in my life. I don't want to get hurt again in that way. So I was needing to do that work. And not only that, I have caused myself a sickness that in a way was trying to auto-destruct myself. That's what lupus do. It actually harm the liver, every single part of us, any single organ. That's what the lupus do, is auto-destruction button. Basically, that's what I put in myself. So the only way I can liberate myself and actually heal myself, I was needing to forgive the person, my teacher, because now that's how I see him. He was just a teacher. And level soul to soul, he was, we signed up for this. He was going to be the one that was going to beat me in this timeline, and I was going to be the one who was getting beaten. And I know it's very, very hard to understand this and accept this and surrender to this idea. Why? Because, hey, I just got beaten. I don't got raped. But many people have got raped. Many people have passed way worse things that I have passed through. And to accept that they were just teachers, that they were teaching you because you were strong enough to take that lesson. That was one of the advanced courses from planet Earth. You see it. It's not simple, but it's one of the more advanced, like taking trigonometry. You know why? Because it is very complicated. Well, it's kind of like that. But the only way we can liberate ourselves from the pain and not repeat the same lessons that we actually don't need again in our lives, we need to become the observer and observe, like I mentioned before, that apple in every single angle. So like that, we actually can let it go, and we stay with the teaching. Is it can be as painful as we want. It don't has to be painful. There is that, or else that will be a program saying that it's painful. It don't has to be painful. It's as painful as as we wish to be. So we can make our life very easy in this one. There's any questions right now from anybody? Yep. We continue.
I just want to say thank you for that reminder that it doesn't have to be painful. What a wonderful reminder, honestly. It really doesn't have to be painful.
Yes, Dante. When But if we continue in the mentality of victimhood, oh my God, it's going to be super painful. When we remove the mentality of victimhood, that's when actually we don't have to. It don't. It goes very easy. Why? Because we start becoming responsible of our own choices. Like I mentioned, I chose to get married with him. I chose to leave that situation that I was living. I provoked myself that sickness. Life did not happen to me. I create my life. This is not simple to understand because we are programmed. And that's part of peeling the onion, peeling ourselves layer by layer. And sometimes when we take one layer off, something else come up in there. And again, we have to peel the onion again until we get to the heart. That's why I love to go to the void, because in the void, that's when we can reconstruct completely ourselves. When we go to a higher planes, that's where we're gonna go sooner or later, all human beings. When we start doing that, we can't take that pain. We can't take our fears. We can't take any the duality, in fact, bad, good, scary, demonic, angel. There is no duality in the higher planes. The only higher planes that exist is actually in the third dimension where we are, female or male. It is actually. I'm gonna put you in mute, Dante. And so in the higher planes, it doesn't exist that. So hey, you wanna ascend or you wanna continue suffering? That's your choice. If you wanna continue doing trying the manipulation of other people, oh, feel poor me, poor me. Oh, if it was not for this situation, it was not because of that situation, I did not did that. Or my dream to go and skydive, like I was saying, it's because my ex-husband didn't let me. No, now I want to do it. Why? Because I choose to. That's all. You're as free as you want to be. When you're trying to please everybody, you're not free. And then you will say, you will go into the mentality of victimhood because you're trying to be the pleaser of everybody. And then you forget that you have the choice to say, no, I don't want to do it, or I want to do it. No one should tell you what are you capable or not, and what is your worth. That's their own projections. They are not yours. Well, now let me go to the next slide. Oops, okay. Oh, escape. Well, and I would like to ask each one of you in this, let's gonna go one by one. I'm gonna put it as there. Okay, and I would like to, if each one of you, Shannon, I would like to you tell me if you have any questions or what do you have understand about this before we go to the meditation. We're going to be working with the inner child and bringing down our higher self and embody it. What do you have?
I don't have any questions, but I like the part about, you know, um, diving into anybody's one's own feelings of victimhood in order to pass through that and learn the lessons on the other side of it. You know, what these traumas and hard times that we've had in this life can show us and the lessons we can learn from it. So it's good to hear that.
Yes, because when we're not playing in the victimhood, we realize how powerful, and you can feel it. The
Mm-hmm.
power feeling back coming back, and you feeling that freedom. That's like, oh my God, I really can paint my house, the walls, if I want to in black. you know, you, you can choose whatever you want, but because you start feeling that freedom. I'm not saying that in relationships you don't compromise, but sometimes we compromise a lot more than we should. The two parts, not only one. And then you forget later on what was even your favorite food because we compromise so much. Edna, can you tell us if you have any questions, or
No, I have no questions for me.
what do you have understand?
Sorry?
What do you have understand from this? No
I
question?
don't.
No?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
Robbie, are you there? I think Robbie's gone. Robbie, okay. Oh, we'll go back later on with him if he comes back. Dante,
I really, really feel locked back in to my I am presence and to the freedom of that through having listened to you speaking and having received the part that happened before I arrived. Um, I feel really locked into that. Um, I'm seeing Edna, not you, so that's what's happening. Hi. Yeah, I feel really locked in to that from having listened to your words, and it also helps me to come back to myself to hear someone saying those words, because these are the things that myself and Kintarian and others like myself have been teaching for, I don't know, maybe 20 years now. So it's really nice to hear those words coming towards me and reminding myself, yes, that's true. Now I can have myself locked back into that through having heard those words.
I'm glad, Dante. Because sometimes we just need the reminder that things that we already know. I know I'm not talking things that we don't know. A lot of us, we already know it, or at least we intuit those things. But we just, sometimes we just need to hear them. That's why the memes are so wonderful. They are just reminders of something that we forgot or what we were needing to hear in that day. There's always messages, and we're always being guided. So hopefully, this just remind the people they already know, and the ones they don't know, they would know it. This. Thank you, Dante. Ingrid, qué belleza.
La belleza eres tú. You look beautiful and your background is beautiful. So happy birthday and thank you for having us.
Thank you, thank you.
And yeah, I just, yeah, for me, I have been talking to you and to another friend that you were guiding me to become more grounded and maybe go out in the grass and walk in the grass and get some sun. So when you were talking about getting grounded, I was like, okay, I need to make time at 6 o'clock or set a specific time to go out and get in nature and get connected with grounding. So that's something that is present for me to incorporate into my daily life.
And if you don't have time to go out to the garden, or it's raining or whatever, or it's snowing, because some of you guys, they're in Canada, they're snowing over there.
Somebody told me here in Texas, they were snowed under in Lubbock, Texas.
So if you don't have time, or you can't go outside, make the breathing, or for yourself. I am here, here I am.
Okay.
Minimum do whatever, you're gonna find a practice that you feel that is gonna ground you and bring you back in your body.
Yeah, I practice pretty much every day, the
Okay,
breathing.
good.
So thank you for your sharing.
Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you for being here. Omar,
It's a special day, right? It's your birthday today,
today is my birthday.
and you look beautiful. We're gonna sing happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
To
Happy
you.
birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday to you.
To you.
Happy
Happy
birthday, dear
birthday, dear
Monica.
Monica. Happy
Happy birthday
Birthday
To
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 you.
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 Thank you.
And many more.
Oh yes, many, many. Thank you. Thank you, Ingrid. Omar, you been
Yes.
did you hear me all the talk that I have done?
Yeah. Yeah. The part that I soaked in the most was, sometimes we compromise so much, just like you were saying, that we lose sense of self, and we lose sense of identity sometimes because we give in to compromise. Um, and that's something I'm guilty of. I have compromised so much in the past that I even asked, if I could get a plate from my own cabinet from my brother. He's just like, yes, dude, you can get a plate. Even that affected me psychologically, even when I was not with somebody. And you know, that's something that I got to be more aware of, and I'm glad you touched base on that.
You know, don't feel guilty and don't think you're unique. We all have passed through that. I don't know any human being that do not have passed through that. We all have passed through that. When we fall in love, we tend to lose ourselves more. And it's not because it's bad love, it's just because we want someone to love us.
Yeah.
When we're looking so much for someone to love us, we will tell them, okay, yellow is your favorite color, and you hate yellow, but you would dress yellow.
Yeah.
Why? Because you want the other person to see you attracted. Even if you look at yourself like, oh my God, I hate yellow, you know?
Yeah.
So we tend to compromise so much, and just because we're looking for acceptation, we're looking for love, and that's why we do that. Actually, the part of the being the victimhood is also for the same reason. We can get it in the good way. We can say to our partner or your kids, saying, "Hey, I just want a hug." Why? Because I feel the need of a hug, and because they don't want to give me a hug, I will say, "Oh, my arm hurts here. Can you hug me?" or things like that. Because we want to bring the attention to them. It is a bad way to get attention, and that's not the way. Playing the card of poor me.
Right.
But once you become responsible, even with my kids, it is funny. When I go and like, oh, can I have a coffee? It's my birthday. Like, don't play that card with me, my mom. Like, why? Because we are so open in the not playing the victimhood that those cards they can see the games right away. The majority of the people are asleep and they don't realize when they're playing the games or when they are
Yeah.
being played. So we just have to become aware of those two
Yeah.
things when we're playing it or when others are playing it
Yeah.
for us. And if we are going to fall for that or not. That's everything our choice. But it is, don't see it as like, oh, I can't change. I just did this. No, you can change your decision at any time. I remember the old program that I had that used to tell me, oh, you make the choice, you have to stay there because you made that choice. And I thought I could not change it. So I was stuck there because I thought I could not change it. When I realized that I can change any choice that I did in the moment I desired, oh, I became free. I says, well, I don't hate kimchi. I do not like kimchi. Do not give me kimchi. And now I prohibit people to bring kimchi to my house. But before, I have to smell that thing that, oh my God, it make me throw up. But I compromised that much. And just because I wanted to be loved or someone to cook for me, but not kimchi. You know?
Right. Yeah. I got you.
Okay. Robbie, are you there? Robbie, I think he went for a coffee. Patty, are you there? Patty, Patricia.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Have you, what do you think about what we have said? Or you have any questions?
You just said something very, very important that I didn't realize before. And it is that you can change your choices. Um, for me, when in my family, they used to say that if you choose, you make a decision, you have to be firm and keep your all your effort and all your conscience on what you choose. And that I I am just realizing that this is not completely true. That we have the right to change our minds and to do things different and to try to walk in another path that maybe is not what they expected you to walk in, and that's our right. We can do things that way, and this is really important for me. Really.
Yes, we are programmed, that's all programs. We're going to find in our process of growing and changing and transforming ourselves that there are many, many, many programs that we're going to encounter ourselves that they were put by our parents. I'm not guilting our parents because they don't knew better. They were also programmed, and the grandparents and the grandparents and so on, so on. So maybe before Christ, we were not so programmed, maybe because probably there was a different kind of programs that they had in them. And so, but in this moment, we are all. If you're after 30, you have tons of programs. The kids are the only ones that they have less programs. Why? Because they haven't been so pushed into how the system should work, how they should think, how should act. Don't say those things. That's why they say the kids are very pure and they say everything because they're not so programmed. We are afraid to say no, or I don't like that, or and we don't understand also that we're always in constant change. Whatever I think today, it might be different tomorrow, and that is fine. Why? Because we're in constant changing, constant evolution. So we today we felt this for ourselves, or we were not loving ourselves or whatever. Hey, in a second can change. Like I see it like a click, like when you're changing the radio to different radio stations and you're changing click, click, click. You're we're doing the same thing. In your conscience and you're in your body, you can notice. But if you're not in your body and you're not conscious, you're not even realize that you're clicking, clicking. But if you think how you were 10 years ago, even if you haven't worked enough with yourself, you think how you were 10 years ago, you're going to realize that you're different. How many times you're going to put your hands in the stove when it's hot? You learn, right? You learn. And it's not because your parents tell you, it's because you have burned yourself, your hand many times in the stove. And now, when you start working with yourself and you start becoming more conscious of your thoughts and your emotions and what you say, your feelings and so forth, we can do the change faster. The symphony of the tuner, it goes faster. We just have to be more present. And there's many tools there, and we're going to be working with many tools. That's why I love to learn new things because I like to have more tools. So if something didn't work in one way, something else will work in the another way, or we're all different, and I like to help people. Maybe what it works for me didn't work for someone else. Well, let me try another two, because that one is not working for that person what I thought it was. So it's always important that the teaching and the knowledge and learning, it will never stop. We are never going to stop changing. We're never going to stop evolutionating. That's something that is never going to stop. In the moment someone tell me I know it all, so I don't have to study and I don't have to read and I don't have, that moment that person is becoming to die. Why? Because they stop living. Part of the enjoyment of being alive and live the adventure of being alive is learn. I don't care from what or from whatever passion you have, but it's learning. That's what it makes us alive, and that's what it brings the adventure to our life. Alejandra, Alexandra, you're there?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, happy birthday, first of all. I'm probably here for a whole other reason than probably everybody, and you know, I understand about the victim mentality when it comes to sickness. Just a month ago, I started to experience all of a sudden these weird symptoms, and um, I don't know. I think it may be linked to emotional. I don't know what it is, but right now, like the symptoms have come back, and just a month ago, I went to a hypnosis session, and I was told that I hold a lot of emotions, but I also noticed that I wasn't making any changes like in my life. Like this past 2 years had been very difficult for me. So like it's very hard because when I went to the doctor, they pretty much didn't tell me anything. I don't know if it's because of the situation right now that everybody's just going through. I have no idea, but I'm between. Um, you know, I started to see that self healing is a thing, and though I don't want to be like negligent, you know, when it comes to making a decision whether to keep looking for doctors or things like that. Like everybody in my family, they tell me you look fine, but I'm the one feeling all of this, and just knowing that I don't know what I have. Sometimes I feel like I fall into depression, if that's the word, and like anxiety. And so I noticed that lately I've been going through like this flight or fight type of thing with my body, and I noticed that I've been like stressing myself a lot lately. And so I have been trying to connect to my higher self, um, anything just to know what probably could have caused this, and just so I can learn the lesson and move on, because I noticed that it's been taking a toll on me. So um, but I agree with the victim mentality, because I mean, a lot of times, you know, I think we end up falling into that, like especially myself. And I don't want to be seen as a victim, you know. Like I want to. That's not the one. That's not how I want to come across to other people, because I know that I'm strong, you know. But I don't know, like how do you deal with when it came to sickness? Like how did you deal with like the symptoms?
There,
That's one of my questions.
there might be several things going on here, Alejandra. I'm not a doctor, just to be clear in this one.
Mhm.
So and so I don't wanna, I can't even prescribe because I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you my experience and what I know.
Mhm.
Right now we're in there's when we start awaking, we pass through many pains, and and now I think that all the symptoms that when the doctor told me that I have lupus, fibromyalgia, it took 5 years to diagnose me finally for something because I was going to one doctor and to another doctor,
Mhm.
and no one can tell me what I had. And then finally they told me what I have, and they just started adding more sickness to it. Like I believe they were enjoying it because, hey, I was a consumer, a consumer that they were gonna give me this medicine, the other medicine, this treatment, and the other treatment, and this study and the other study, and I did not have insurance, so it was very time consuming and money consuming. And I'm not saying that you're not sick or not. I don't know your situation, and I am not a doctor. Again, I clarified this from the beginning. But I know when we are waking up, we don't have energy. We feel dizzy. We have headaches. Our body feels like it's breaking. We go into there is very emotional, and there is a part that I wanted to talk about is about the what we call the dark night of the soul. In the dark night of the soul is when we are start and all our realities is starting to collapse. We start realizing that what we have learned that in the news is half is true, the other half is not. What they have taught us in the school, half is true, the other half is not. What our parents, our church, our all around the people around us, we don't even vibrate, so they don't even want to be around us. We go into that deep depression, and it's up to a lot of us. Many people in this moment, they go to a psychiatrist and they start taking antidepressives. I did it. I'm not gonna say I did not do it because I did it. I did it for 10 years, and but until I decide I don't want to take it anymore, and I just cold turkey. And I don't recommend no one to do so cruel with themselves like I did, because obviously when you cold turkey after 10 years antidepressive, I went suicidal. And actually it was very very hard to come back from there until I start seeing observing this, Alejandra. And we can hear the two voices. There's in the American Indians, they have this saying, they have two wolves. And this is a very good analogy. There's two wolves or two voices. One voice is gonna be telling you you're worthless, you're a piece of shit, you're getting old, you're fat, you're ugly, you're don't value, and that voice is gonna start pushing you more down and down and down and down. And the other side, you have the other voice that is gonna tell you you can do this, you can get up, don't worry, everything is gonna be fine, let it go, you are beautiful, you can change that. And the other voice is gonna start trying to put you up.
Mhm.
Wherever you put your attention is when it's gonna grow. If you put your attention in the voice that is negative, that is pushing you down, you're gonna go into a deeper and deeper and deeper depression. In those moments when you're so depressed, you might need antidepressants, but I'm not a doctor again. But if you can have the conscience and be present in your body, and you can do that change and put your attention to the other voice, that voice that is telling you, you can do this, you're not alone, we're here for you, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're worth, your value, and all these voices, and you put your attention to that voice and the other one that is pushing you down, you start making it lower and lower and lower and lower. You can get out of that depression. I know it is very hard because I've been in there. I know it's very hard when you're in physical pain to put attention which voice I'm going to listen because I'm in pain.
Mhm.
I know. I did in that time, I did change completely my diet. I understood that eating any meats in that time, I'm not saying that I don't eat meats now, but in that time, I stopped eating all the meats because I saw that swallowed me. The doctors wanted to put me in the gluten free. That didn't work because the problem was not that. The problem was my conscience that I was needing to change. And in this mini workshop, we're going to be changing you can change your conscience. And when you start changing your conscience, the pain is going to be less and less and less if you let it. because I can promise you that I'm gonna heal you. No healer in the world can heal unless you wanna do the work. And in there, you have a lot of support that we're there for you, that you're not alone, that we can support you so you can get out of this one. I don't take any medicines. And in fact, my kids sometimes get after me because I forget to take my vitamins. I'm terrible taking pills. I don't even take that anymore. But you can do that change if you want to. I'm not telling you do not listen to the doctors or to stop taking your medicines or do your medical treatments because you might need it in that moment as an extra support. But at the same time, when you start working with yourself, you can change that. Any physical condition, mentally, physical, and spiritual. Because in that moment, also, when we're there, we tend to lose ourselves and stop having hope and faith that things can change. And that's part of the voices that bring you down.
Yeah.
When they're pushing you down, oh, there's no hope, there's no faith, God do not exist, and there's I'm not divine, and there is no higher self. Because that's what the voices are bringing you down. Because when we're in pain, when we're in fear, we're very easy to control.
Yeah.
And that's part of the society that loves to program all of us so we are easy to control. So it's going to be a process and it's going to be as painful as you decide, Ale. We're all here to support you. You're not alone. Besides that, you're going to find out very soon that you also have a higher self, that it is the beautiful you, but it's actually your divine self that we are, and soon we're going to be doing the meditation where we're going to forgive ourselves and we're going to bring back to our higher self and we're going to connect it and we're going to heal the inner child at the same time. All these things help me to heal myself. And I'm just going to talk about how I did it. It's up to you, you want to do it or not. I don't promise you anything because that is totally your choices. Each one of us have our own choices, including me.
Yeah.
I know here we have very good healers. Someone wants to add to this before we start the meditation? I know, Dante, you want to say something.
We are holding space for you, and that uh, that is, we hold a sacred space for you. We are in this way supporting you in doing the things for yourself that will empower you to bring the transformation to yourself. But we are holding space for you, so you will feel that.
Thank you.
Well, now we are going to go into, if everybody's ready for the meditation, where we're going to be healing the inner child and also where we're going to be bringing the higher self and going into that void. We're not going to go deeply into the void completely. We're going to go to the void, but we're not going to completely deconstruct yourself until tomorrow because tomorrow we're going to be talking about more about the programs. Today was more about the responsibility and it was more about where we were and things like that. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about how we can deconstruct ourselves and we rebuild ourselves because that's where a lot of the transformation is actually happens. But today we are going to go. It's important that we heal we forgive ourselves for any mistake that we have done. It doesn't matter what it is. And the inner child, and it goes by layers. You take one layer, and then you find something else, and you take another layer, and you find something else. And when the healing is gonna end, I don't know. Probably never, or probably one day when we are totally ascend. But in this moment, we're in this plane, we're still healing. All of us, including me, including everybody, even Deepak Chopra. I don't care. He's still healing. Okay. So let's get into a comfortable place. No one is driving, right? I hope Robbie and Patricia are not, and you, Alexander, you're not driving, right?
Right. I'm
Oh.
not driving.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Not driving.
Okay. So we're gonna go. We're gonna get into a relaxed position. We're gonna close our eyes, and we're gonna take a big breath. We're gonna take it to our stomach. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. Now we're gonna take it to our heart. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. Now we're gonna take it to our head. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let it out. Now I want you to send your awareness to your feet. And from your feet, they're gonna become a roots of a tree. And they're gonna start going down, down, down. They're gonna pass through rocks, through dirt, through water, and gonna continue going down and down and down and down to the center of the earth. In there, anchor those roots wherever you feel comfortable. And now in the next breath, you're gonna make those roots thicker, thicker, thicker to the point that you feel comfortable enough. Now, imagine the energy of the center of the earth of Gaia. Start going up, up, up to the roots, up to your feet, up to your ankles, up to your legs, up to your stomach, passing through internal organs and external, up to your chest, passing through your lungs and all the internal organs and all the systems, relaxing them more and more. And then start going up to your shoulders, up to your arms and hands and nails, where you're going to be relaxing more and more. You're going to go through your neck, the front and back, now to your head, the back of your head, and you feel like it's melting here and now. Now the top of your head, you feel how it's melting. And now your two eyebrows, you feel like they're melting. To your eyes, behind your eyes, to your nose, inside your nose, through your mouth, inside your mouth, to your jaw, to your ears, your hair, and all your body. Now we're going to imagine from our crown chakra, from the top of our head, we're going to continue, we're going to get a tunnel, and it's going to go up, up, up to the sky. It's going to go to the central sun that is on top of our sun, and continue going up, up. It's in the center of the universe. We're going to take a big breath from that energy of the central sun. You're going to bring it down, down to all your body, to all your spinal cord and all your chakras. And you're going to connect it to the center of the earth. And now we're going to bring the energy of the center of the earth up, up to all our body. It's going to pass through all our chakras, to all our spinal cord, and it's going to continue going up, up, up to going out through our head and connect to the central sun. And in the next breath, you're gonna make that tunnel bigger and bigger, and it's gonna cover yourself at least 6 feet around you. And let's take another big breath, and let's connect the central sun to the center of the earth. And now the center of the earth to the central sun. Where we're protected, we are safe, and we only ask for beings of the highest planes to be present. At the same time, our higher selves to be present, and all the guides and all the beings to declare this space a sacred space where we are here now, here now, here now. And now we're going to imagine ourselves that we're in the beach where the waves, they are calm, the temperature is perfect, and we can see the waves slowly coming and going, and they relax us a little bit more. The temperature is just perfect. There is no people around us. We're safe and we're calm. The temperature is exactly how we like it. Now we see a little kid coming to us, and he starts getting closer and closer, and he's curious about you. I can even see it in bringing a bucket with sand, and he gets closer and closer to you, and he sits down next to you, and you recognize that little kid, because that little kid, it is you. You can see how beautiful soul is that kid, full of curiosity and playfulness. And you can see that little smile and ask you to play with him or her in the sand. And in there, he starts telling you that he have felt unsafe. He starts telling you that he have not felt love and he felt insecure. That he just want to be loved. He don't want to be scared. He want to feel protected and loved. I want you to hug that kid. You're in a divine plan right now. Hug that kid that it is you. And I want you to tell that kid that you love him, that you will always will be with him, In this moment, you're being the higher self of this kid. You're the future self of that kid. So you're gonna love him and you're always gonna be there. And not to worry, things are gonna get better. Because you know that things are gonna get better. And let it integrate inside your body, that kid, where he feels or she feels safe and protected and integrated to yourself in the here and now. Now you see a teenager coming, walking to you. It's kind of shy. Tell them to come over and let it sit next to you. He's very confused. He feels rejected. He don't think he fits in or is trying too hard to fit in. And he have done already many mistakes and he feel alone and scared, not loved, not understood. And you still hear the future self of him. And he have told you probably that kid that have done one mistakes or two or a few mistakes. And you can tell them that everything is gonna be okay. That when he grows old or when he grows to the age that you have, that it was not gonna matter. That he learned from the lesson, the, whatever mistake he have done, that was the only important thing. And now let's integrate it inside of yourself, in the here and now, in your body. So he feels safe and protected and with better guidance that he had when he was a teenager or she. We're gonna bring another younger aspect of ourselves that felt that have done mistakes. Mistakes that they think that it can change. And you're gonna start integrating. That person is gonna be in front of you and you can see the eyes. And it might be with fear, not feeling love, understanding, or you have compromised too much. And what is you're gonna tell them that it's okay to change. It is okay to change the idea. Any idea can be changed. That everything they have lived, it was just lessons and tests of the same life. But they don't have to stay in that pain. They don't have to stay in that forever. And while you have that younger self of you and you're gonna see a being of light walking towards both of you. And it gets close to you and you can feel the presence when you're getting closer and closer. It's a being of light. It's a radiating love, peace, joy. And this is your higher self in this moment. your higher self, of both of you, it just hug you and tell you everything is gonna be okay. I always have loved you and I will love you. We always being one with each other. You always being supported. You're never can be alone because I'm always with you. You are me and I am you. I want you to give permission if you desire to your higher self and to your younger self to be integrated in in your own body and become one with the inner child and with the teenager and all that parts of you to become one with you in the here and now. Take a big breath and you can anchor all those aspects of you. Take another big breath and feel it in your heart, how it's just anchoring in the here and now. And it is anchoring and anchoring and anchoring. And now I want you to go to your heart. You can find some stairs or it's just one floor. For each one of you is going to be different. And as soon as we go in, our higher self is going to give us a basket. And I want you to put in that basket the mistakes that have marked us, that have changed us that we still carry with us. All the guilt, all the shame. And you're going to put it like rocks. They become rocks. And each rock of shame and guilt, I want you to put a color to it. It doesn't matter what color, it's your choice. Now I want you to put a texture to it. It doesn't matter what texture you have, it's your choice too. Now I want you to put a smell, an aroma. It doesn't matter what smell, it's your choice. And you're gonna put it in that basket. All the shame and blame and guilt. But this time the one who is carrying that basket, it is your higher self. You're not carrying that basket anymore. And your higher self is like the Superman or Superwoman that is super strong and it can carry all those rocks in that basket. So continue putting any single memory that makes you feel shame, blame, guilt. Put it in that basket. And you can see with the right hand of the higher self how those stones just becoming light. And it becomes to transform into that light and become part of the same higher self, because those were memories and lessons. They were needing to be integrated and not seen as a shame or blame or guilt. They were just teachings, like 2 + 2. But they don't have the power anymore over us. Now we give thanks to our higher self for helping us transform that. And the same basket gets transformed and disappear into the light. And that's where resides your higher self, in your heart, in your being. We're gonna thank all the beings for being here, for all our guides, for our higher selves, for helping us in this healing and transformation and activation, where it's gonna be removed anything that doesn't help us anymore. And they're just gonna be transformed to the light. And we're gonna just observe them as lessons without carrying the charge, the negative charge. And we're gonna start coming back and back to our body. And we're gonna start feeling our feet, our arms, our hands, and we're gonna stretch our body, stretch it, and open your eyes whenever you are ready. Well, guys, tomorrow I'm gonna be teaching the second session of this mini course. I hope you like it, and I hope to see you all. And I'm gonna put the replay in the group for whoever do not come in, because thank you, Dante. I know you're in New Zealand and probably it's 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Thank you for being here. But many people did not did that, so they're going to be seeing the replay. And some of them in Australia and in different places, and so they can see it. So I really, really thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much.
Gracias,
Muchas
gracias,
gracias.
gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias, Moni.
Gracias.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
And
so much.
Manifest blessings.
Feliz cumple.
thank and if you know someone else that might be interested in this class, just invite them. It's free.
Marisela, quizás.
Okay. Bye. Thank you, guys.
Night.
Have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.